This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I'm Tansai Gabriel, bringing you today's latest news from across Africa. Stay tuned. Security threats has continued to be a major challenge in Africa, and security experts say Africa's rising threats demand stronger UN-AU alliance. Parfait Onanga Ayanga, head of the UN Office to the African Union, told the Security Council that the partnership between the United Nations and the African Union, as well as with other regional organizations, forms the foundation of an effective network multilateralism. Onanga Ayanga said the strong and enduring partnership between the United Nations and the African Union, as well as with other regional organizations, forms the foundation of an effective networked multilateralism, essential to confronting the complex, evolving, and interconnected threats that today weigh on peace, security, development, and human rights, particularly in Africa. Mohamed Fatih Ahmed Idris, permanent observer of the African Union to the United Nations, echoed that sentiment. Africa is confronting an unprecedented web of security threats. We must work together to address these challenges. Marta Ama Akia Pobi, Assistant Secretary General for Africa, said as we reflect on the future of peace operations and seek efficiencies, it becomes even more evident that Resolution 2719 meets the moment. The resolution contributes to making peace operations relevant to contemporary challenges. You are watching POA Daily News live from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Now moving on to the World Health Organization's reports. WHO says Ebola outbreak in Congo shows signs of containment with no new cases reported. An Ebola outbreak that has plagued southern Congo in recent weeks is starting to be contained, the World Health Organization said, with no new cases reported since the UN Health Agency's last update on October 1st. As of October 5, 2025, 10 days have passed without any newly reported cases, indicating potential control of transmission in the affected areas, the agency said during a news conference. The agency said a total of 64 cases, including 53 confirmed and 11 probable, have been reported in the Congo's Kasai province as of October 5. The WHO also reported 43 deaths, including 32 confirmed and 11 probable. Congolese authorities announced an Ebola outbreak in Congo's southern Kasai province on September 4, the first in 18 years in the remote part of the country located more than 1,000 kilometers from the capital of Kinshasa.
Pulse of Africa is now live.
For decades, young girls in Ghana have been caught at the intersection of poverty, harmful cultural practices, and systemic neglect. Yet today, there are new signs of hope and transformation that remind us of the urgency to invest in girls' dignity, safety, and potential. In the 1970s and 1980s, many remote communities in northern Ghana viewed young girls not as children with dreams, but as commodities in the fight against poverty. Families struggling with economic hardship force their daughters into marriages, sometimes as second or third wives, to much older men. These marriages were not motivated by love, but by survival. Parents received small financial gains, food security, or cattle in exchange for their daughters' childhoods. Thankfully, the narrative is gradually shifting. Organizations like Mabia Ghana have stepped in to address the health and human rights of young girls in northern Ghana. Recognizing the dangers girls face, Mabia Ghana provides life-saving reproductive health services. These services are not luxuries. They are lifelines that empower girls to reclaim control of their own futures. Education demands the participation of all actors. Well, in Morocco's city of Rabat, nonprofit organization called Education for All Morocco partners with Sela to expand education. Education for All Morocco has announced a new partnership with Association Sela to expand its education program to vulnerable young people living under the care of an orphanage in Rabat. The collaboration adds a new urban focus to Education for All Morocco's mission of ensuring access to education for disadvantaged youth, especially girls, said the organization in a press release. Education for All Morocco, which aims to support girls in rural areas through its boarding houses, specialist centers, and university access initiatives, is now broadening its reach to include students facing different challenges in city settings. The organization currently supports a total of 531 girls across Morocco, the highest number in its history, through its safe housing and learning programs.
This is Africa, the cradle of humanity, the frontier of the future, a land of visionaries, creators and pioneers, a continent of unstoppable energy where innovation meets tradition, where voices rise, loud and fearless.
I am an African.
This is the heartbeat of a billion people, diverse, bold, united by a single purpose to tell our own stories in our own way. No borders, no barriers, no filters. A new era of African storytelling is here. From every corner of the continent, from the bustling cities to the quiet villages, we tell Africa's story by Africans for the world. This is the land of a rising Africa, where Africa speaks and the world listens. This is why today we bring you POA, Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Rwanda turns to machine learning and satellites to boost precision agriculture. The government is embracing advanced technologies like machine learning and satellite imagery to transform the agriculture sector, with a strong focus on engaging youth and improving efficiency, sustainability, and profitability, according to Mark Siubario Bagabe, the Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources. Bagabe shared Rwanda's journey in adopting precision agriculture and empowering young people in agribusiness. Bagabe said that Rwanda is set to monitor farming by use of satellite imagery and machine learning. Previously, Bagabe said the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda relied on labor-intensive field sampling for agricultural data. Now, with remote sensing, authorities can estimate crop areas, monitor growth conditions, and predict yields more accurately and efficiently. The minister said, "Today we are moving forward using machine learning, using satellite imaging. We are able to estimate the crop area and the crop growth condition, and therefore are able to estimate the yield using technology." Now let's move to northern African nation, Tunisia. Tunisia's president orders proper preparation for olive harvest season. Tunisia's president, Kais Saied, stressed the need for thorough and well-organized preparation starting now to ensure that harvesting, pressing, and marketing of olive oil, both domestically and abroad, take place under the best possible conditions, according to the statement from the presidency. The president instructed that efforts should not be limited to traditional markets, noting that many countries in Asia and Southern America have expressed willingness to import Tunisian olive oil. He also underscored the importance of finding ways to finance the packaging of this national product so that the country's resources bear its name, a step that would positively impact many other sectors and contribute to diversifying Tunisia's strategic partnerships. The President of the Republic also stressed the need to provide greater support to small farmers, not only in terms of harvesting, pressing, and marketing, but across all areas.
El Dorado, a land of wealth, a future of limitless possibilities. This is El Dorado From natural reach to groundbreaking innovations, discover Africa's untapped potential.
Africa remains the world's second fastest growing region after Asia. East Africa, with real GDP growth rising from an estimated 1.5% in 2023 to 5.7% in 2025. Growth is projected to pick up in West Africa, in North Africa, growth is projected to decline from an estimated 4.1% in 2023 to 3.6% in 2024 and 4.2% in 2025. Growth in Southern Africa, growth in Central Africa, average growth in oil exporting countries. Africa's economic performance is showing signs of improvement, according to the 2025 Microeconomic Performance and Outlook.
El Dorado, unveiling Africa's global potential.
Our daily POA news coverage continues. Now shifting to business news. Turkey-Africa Business Forum aims to boost trade beyond $35 billion. The Turkey-Africa Business and Economic Forum, set for October 16 to 17 in Istanbul, aims to strengthen economic ties as trade between Turkey and Africa is expected to surpass $35 billion by year's end. Foreign Economic Relations Board Chair Nail Opak said Turkey's exports to Africa reached $14.6 billion, while imports totaled $7.7 billion from January to August. Turkey targets $40 billion in trade next year, with goals of reaching $50 to $70 billion in the following years. Key areas of cooperation include green energy, infrastructure, agriculture, digitization, and health technologies. OPEC emphasized Turkey's win-win approach, highlighting initiatives such as expanding Exim Bank financing, promoting investment incentives, and increasing scholarships for African students. Over 4,000 business people, along with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Trade Minister Omar Bolat, and several African leaders are expected to attend the forum. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on African leaders to fast-track digital transformation, emphasizing its importance to economic growth and regional integration. Speaking at the 3rd Annual Africa Digital Summit in Lusaka, he said digital platforms and identity systems must underpin inclusive service delivery and Africa-to-Africa trade. The president highlighted the need for investment in digital infrastructure, including systems for real-time tracking of trucks and streamlined border process. The president highlighted the need for investment in digital infrastructure, including systems for real-time tracking of trucks and streamlined border processes, while noting that unreliable electricity remains a key obstacle. That brings us to the end of the news. POA is your trusted source for authentic stories from across Africa. Stay connected with us through our social media platforms for more updates. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.